Yeah, there's the 360, and as you can see, it's on top of something. It's on top of that white thing there, because it's a fan. It's supposed to cool off the 360. It's supposed to push air, and it's modded, so an external hard drive fits perfectly. It's really funny how it fits perfectly. And the idea, I wanted to play an RPG game. I'm like, oh, let's try this RPG. So I actually bought it physically. Even has, I think it was new. Um, but then okay, I had it hooked up to an LCD monitor. But then I wanted to hook it up to a CRT just for fun. Um, I bought a monitor just for this monitor I hear was actually shown with a 360 game playing on it, and that can push up to 2K or something. But I wanted to play on this monitor because it's bigger. This monitor is bigger, and back in the day, back in those times, people were still using these TVs. They were still using these TVs. Even though HD was a thing, like flat screens was a thing, but old TVs was still a thing. So you're losing because you can see, you can see, because you can see on the cover. Um, it says, you know, yeah, HDTV, HDTV. Oh, that was the word there, the sound. Oh, fuck. Can barely see it. Can barely see it. It says HDTV 720p, 1080i, 1080p. So it's kind of But even though they actually did release a SCART cable for the 360, and that's the idea. Is you actually turn this on, this TV. I don't know how long it's gonna last, though. This TV, I don't know how long it's gonna last for it. Yeah, you can even see on camera the black lines scrolling. There, I turned on the 360. Um, there it is, 360 on CRT. The thing you notice though, I don't know if the camera picks it up. You do notice interlacing, but there's the 360 on CRT. So you're losing. Let's just say most games are. If most games are 720p, how much resolution are you really losing? If this is like max 576i, 720p, that's like over 100 lines of resolution or whatever. No, but it still looks okay. It's better on that smaller monitor because you get progressive scan. But this TV, it's still good. Like, it's probably still good. And in those times, people are still using these TVs. That's why they made a SCART cable for it. So, you can literally see. You can see it. No, there it is. The SCART cable. The SCART cable for the 360. And, no, it was still a thing back then. I was using an old TV. I didn't have a 360 in that generation, but I was using an old TV with a PS3 for at least a year. And then, flat screens, so. But it's interesting. How much are you losing though in resolution? And the graphics look the same. They don't look worse. They look worse, but they don't. Oh, now you can really see. Yeah, because the monitor refreshes so fast. And you can see the black, whatever that is, but it's kind of an interesting thing, and it's really interesting because people were still using these TVs back then, even though HD was a thing. HD TV was a thing, these still existed and people still used them, and games it's probably a really interesting way to play. Same with the PS3, it's probably really interesting to play this way. I mean, I've heard, some games get better frame rates if they have to push less graphics and whatever, so, it's interesting to use, have a 360. I have used it with LCD, but I haven't really used it with this monitor. It's interesting, and it was the last consoles. It was the last Xbox 360 and PS3. They were the last consoles that used SCART, natively. Because PS4 and Xbox One, no, they didn't have SCART natively. But these were the last consoles that had SCART natively. So, well.